What's up, everybody? This is Edward back with another video. And today, what we're going to talk about is well, you see the title. We're going to have a conversation about the hatred, the undercover hatred of business in the black community. Some people will call this the classic crab in the barrel mentality, but I'm not. I'm gonna try to break it down deeper than just the well somebody's a coon and this and that, because it's not just folks. Let's keep it real. It doesn't matter if you call somebody a coon or not. You got a lot of folks, especially folks that would say that they're pro black, that have a deep seated hatred of business, have a deep seated hatred of economics, and we're gonna break this down because it's not always the people that you think it is. And I'm gonna give you a perfect example. One of the people that a lot of people in the manosphere will come to mind when this conversation comes up would be like BGS Igmore. And the reason for that is because a lot of folks can't really override the data and the facts that he comes with. Uh, so people get emotional because they look at capitalism like a religion, and they feel as though you're attacking their religion. It's akin to if you're an atheist and you're trying to tell somebody how God isn't real, you're trying to make them prove it's real. And because at the end of the day, a lot of times what it is because people don't have a deep seated depth in their own religion. They're what I would call cultural Christians, and I'm for the most part a cultural Christian, so that's not a diss. They feel like you're attacking their worldview, so they respond emotionally. And usually that's in a very negative way because they can't prove. You're basically asking a question they can't answer, and then they get frustrated, and then it goes there. And he's often one of the ones that are accused of being an anti-capitalist when in actuality, what he's doing is just telling you how the sausage is made. And oftentimes, people ultimately don't really want to know how the sausage is made. And he's saying that's important because, and it is important because if you understand how the sausage is made, then you have a better ability to predict what's going to happen. So you have a better grasp of what capitalism is if you really understand how it was made, what it is, how it happens. But people don't see that. What they see is what you're telling me that shit is gonna hit the fan, and I don't want to believe that. And I'm gonna keep it real. I don't want to believe that. I didn't just come out to make this money. To then all of a sudden I gotta worry about being ultra minimalist and stuff like that. But a lot of the stuff that BGS has said is things that I've been told in environments of nothing but business for a very long time. Let's be real. Robert Kiyosaki says a lot of stuff that BGS has kind of said in the overarching stuff, and he said that like 15, 20 years ago, and he's been saying it. So I hear Glenn and Cameron say these things all the time. So people that are straight up businessmen and unapologetic businessmen are saying a lot of the same things. It just he goes a little bit deeper into it, and people don't want to hear that. I want to get that elephant out of the room because that's often the dude that a lot of people in the manosphere will kind of put up, and that's where a lot of these conversations kind of come. He's not who I'm talking about at all. What I'm talking about is not really has anything to do with content creators, although a lot of content creators that people follow is kind of reflective of this mentality. So here's the deal. I'll post the link up in the in the damn community tab. But there's a story of a tragic story of a young woman who owns her hair salon, which is great because you need more black women getting into that field because black women need to be supporting other black women when it comes to business. Because that's part of spreading your dollar, and that's easy. And she was gunned down. You all may have heard of this story. That she was in Baltimore, and shout out to Charles Faulkner, because that's his neck of the woods. And she was gunned down in her own salon. Now, certain people are going to make this a commentary of black people in general. That's not really what this video is about. That's just, and this is not actually why I'm making this video, but this is just to bring, and it were black men that did it. Thuggos that did it. But this is just to bring it home that you got black women getting their ass beat in a goddamn and he's trying is here's my thing that kills me. I'm gonna say it this way because this is not going into no protecting the black women argument or anything like that. The point is what's always I find fascinating is I find it fascinating how a lot of these dudes talk about how street they are and how when they're in the quote unquote game. And even and shout out to Tariq Nasheed because Tariq Nasheed actually mentioned this. So he didn't run. He's actually the first person I heard this story from, and he didn't run away from this at all. And I don't. And despite what people think, I actually don't listen to Tariq Nasheed like that anymore. Like I'll listen to certain clips here and there. I got a lot of great people around in my social media network that actually aggregates a lot of his stuff. But I actually don't because Tariq Nasheed ain't saying nothing he has to say. I probably pay attention to him on Twitter more than anything else. But anyway, I got this from him, and he said it. He said a lot of dudes that are in the street. We know Tariq Nasheed is apologetically, for the street shit. He said they will go at a black person's business, whether it's a woman or a male's, but you never see these dudes other than that one brick throwing incident. You never see these dudes if they're gonna decide to rob somebody, robbing what's called foreign businesses. And I've never understood. Well, I do understand it to a certain extent. A big extent as to why that is because you're comfortable. Black on black crime exists to the extent that it exists is because black people are actually very comfortable harming other black people. It's in their comfort zone. If you go into a Korean store or Asian, and I'm not advocating for crime at all, but whatever. But you get what I'm saying. If you go into a white store or Korean, first of all, you go into a white store, there's gonna be your ass is gonna get got one way or the other. They're gonna find a way to get you. The resources to get your black ass is gonna be tenfold, and y'all know that. Y'all know they're gonna come a lot quicker than may. I'm not saying that they don't come for black business, but they're gonna come a lot extra fast. Just like when a black female disappears, to the extent that happens, and a white female disappears, we know the difference. The society will respond in a very different way to that. A lot of these dudes are cowards, and they know that's what it is. And this is not just dudes. I can lump the females in here too, because the females feel more comfortable going in black businesses with the other women or men run acting a fool than they necessarily do going into white owned businesses. McDonald's to me doesn't count because that's more like a general kind of thing because you don't really know who owns that. It's a franchise, but you get what I'm saying. But my point is, they're more comfortable going into black establishments acting a fucking fool, even though they're not comfortable enough to patronize these same establishments. Like real fucking talk. Because these are not square niggas. These are not, they did that. And Baltimore is a majority black city. Faulkner said like 75% black. So I get that. Maybe it was proximity. So I'll put that out there. But my point is, in general, it's like black people are programmed to fuck with black business in a negative way. And it's the same thing, and I'm gonna say it just like this because it's the same thing because we know, men do more crimes as far as this type of stuff than women do. That's obvious. So we're gonna focus on the men on this. But it's the same thing when we talk about women, how women undercut their boys and undercut, family structure. It's the same shit, but the flip side of that coin. As far as I'm concerned, if you don't have a certain understanding of how to generate and get resources out of your environment, that's a part of being alpha. That doesn't mean that you gotta be, you have to be like a businessman. But if you're in a situation where you're doing stupid shit like that, because keep in mind, this wasn't just a robbery. This is what they did to put a bullet in her head. And this was the business owner. You see what I'm saying? And you're not gonna hear this. You're not gonna hear this be held ultra loud and clear because at the end of the day, a lot of these guys, and this is not commentary on this woman, but they're not gonna throw the men, certain type of men under the bus. But my point is, I just wanted to put that out there first. Now, getting away from that real quick. Here's the deal. Here's the problem that I see on social media. And even in real life, you don't ever go into deep issues with this because people don't want to talk about this. But black people are very ignorant as a group. We're very ignorant when it comes to economics, when it comes to business. And when I say ignorant, you can tell these are conversations that are not had at home. These are conversations that never come up. Even things like a checkbook, credit, something that affects every black person credit. You can tell this shit is just not talked about. You really can. I'm talking about as an overall group. And the problem with that is, but when things are not really discussed, what happens is emotion tends to take the place of what logic and reason based on real data, because the brain is trying to fill in information, and black people have a tendency to want to be emotional about everything. So our relationship with money is horrible. The black church does not help. But even outside of the church, it's just horrible. There is no way to pull it. I don't give a fuck about racism. We're not gonna play that game today. The racism argument. It's not. Like, I'm gonna keep it real with you. You can't blame white supremacy for you having bad credit. And I've had bad credit. I've had judgments. Hold on one second. What I'm gonna do is I'll probably do a stream on this later on today.
Did a what? Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a stream on this later on today. But real fucking talk, like, it's something that needs to be discussed. Now, here's the thing, man. On the other side, you have people that they want to be like racism doesn't exist. Racism is a figment of your imagination. They say these things because they believe that black people can't walk and chew gum at the same time. So it's either one thing has to be true or another thing has to be true. Two things both cannot be true in a measure of degrees. This is why they say this. I'm not on that side of it. And this is why I say I'm economically pro-black, because economics is the best means that you combat that. But the problem is, you do have a lot of black folks, and because they're emotionally based, they refuse to have like a double-sided conversation. It's always got to be something is absolute or another thing is absolute. So they are correct to a certain extent, just not to the extent, to the point where they just gonna act like nothing exists at all, and I don't agree with that. But so it's gonna be a bad conversation, but it is gonna be a conversation because real talk, I'm hearing way too many people that follow me.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And I've
said, are you ready?
Yes.
Now?
Yes. And I've said the same thing.
Can I use the bathroom?
Yes. I've said the same thing where these people will listen to me, and I say the same thing consistently. But then they come at me with this tone talk shit, and they just keep on saying the same fucking thing. It's like they're fucking stupid. They keep on saying, I hate when people sound like they're fucking robots. Where it's like, tell you're programmed and you're just repeating shit you heard. You ain't even looked at the shit that you eat that ain't never they can quote some scriptures, but they ain't never they can quote some scriptures, but they ain't never read the Bible from cover to cover. At the end of the day, they don't know what's in that book. They just know what they've been told. And you see a lot of people do this when it comes to capitalism. You see this pro-capitalist. You see black people do this when they're anti-capitalist. And so I got people in my comment section, a couple. I got people in the chat that's just repeating tone stuff saying, dude, talk about, well, really, black people need communism. Motherfuckers, it just, if you didn't know any better, you would think a lot of folks just had an IQ that is completely fucked up. Like their IQ is just not there. Like because they just believe anything they're told. And it's amazing to me. Like, oh, well, do you even know what communism is? Do you even know what socialism is? For people that's pro-capitalist, do you even understand how much of your government actually is socialist? Nothing is like one thing or a completely one thing or another. And it shows that black people have a completely childlike understanding when it comes to what power is, what power does, and how power is generated. Hold on. How power is generated. It really does. And this is why somebody like Tone can really come in and say some stupid shit. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna it for right now, and I'll come back to it. The reason why Tone people value what Tone says is quite frankly because Tone is really telling you to keep doing the same thing you've already been doing, which is vote for the Democratic Party, and he's telling you you don't have to put no skin in the game financially. Ultimately, that's what his message is about. And he's giving you reasons as to why you can sell yourself on that. That's it. That's where it starts. That's where it ends. And for that reason, that's why what he says is valued. And I would challenge anybody to tell me that's not true. Because Tone is telling you to vote down ticket for the Democrats. For what? And Tone is telling you that business is not the answer, government is. The problem with that is the folks that say business is the answer is not saying that government doesn't have a role to play. But what Tone is telling you is business doesn't have a role to play, but government is the only answer. That should tell you everything you need to know about Tone. It really should. But anyway, I'm gonna end this for right now, and then we'll probably. I see you, MOT. I see y'all in here. What's up, Danielle? We about to do a stream on this, and we gonna break it all the way down because that shit needs to be called the fuck out. It really does, because these people need to be purged, in my opinion.
Here. You got.
All right, well, I'll work with y'all a little bit longer. Let's see. Sorry, I'm like running errands and shit.
Did you check the mail?
Running errands and shit. I'm like at my mom's house, dropping shit off and bullshit. All right, press 1 if y'all can still hear me. It's hot as fuck where I'm at. Shit. All right, y'all can still hear me? All right, so this microphone is working. So anyway, 1 second. Like I said, though, folks like that need to be purged, to be honest with you. Because real talk, that lack of ignorance, that type of ignorance is dangerous. It really is. And it's not about, see, the problem with folks is folks have this negative connotation to what it means to be pro-black. So they use terms like fake pro-black and this, like shit like that. I'm gonna keep it real. Shit like that is silly. There's dumbass motherfuckers no matter what you do. I don't give a fuck if you're everybody's BM. If Igmores for the most part tend to have a lack of dumb motherfuckers because they're a smaller group. But no pro-Christian, anti-Christian, there's dumb thinking black men. There's folks that try to say they're thinking black men that ain't thinking worth a shit. You know, there's stupid people and there is no segment that like this is the real segment. But what happens is people are more emotionally connected to whatever groups they want to be on YouTube with. So they tend to defend fuckery. I don't defend fuckery no matter where it is. I don't defend bullshit ever. It's really, okay, you're either full of shit or you're not. Doesn't matter what quote unquote thing you tend to claim. So too many people play into that college, all these like bowls that are going on right now. Too many people play into that, and yeah. But anyway, going back to the business shit, there is a deep seated hatred of business for when in the black community. The relationship with money is completely fucked up, and it usually manifests in a crab in a barrel. It's true for black men. It's true for black women. Although I'm gonna keep it real with you, black women, because they've been trained to be more independent minded, they tend to be the easier to deal with business in many ways as volume of numbers. than black men as an overall group because they've been trained to try to be the head. That's the problem. So what happens is you got a lot of dudes, and I'm talking black people as an overall group. You have dudes that they have this jealousy. Remember, black men are always competing to have the biggest dick on the table. They want all the pussy. So it's like Highlander. They can only be one. So a lot of black men view using money as cheating. So they have a certain type of instinctual repulsiveness to dudes that are making a lot of money. They see that as an enemy subconsciously. And you see it in how it manifests. Even if dudes ain't outright killing people, you see it in how people try to undermine people and hate on people. And to be fair, women actually see that in black men. So they try to undermine black men because they think that if a black man gets money, they'll leave. Even though that shit is not true in the way they like to believe it, they still like to think that way because it justifies them trying, because to them undermining a black man is them maintaining control. A lot of them do it and they don't even realize that they're doing it, even though that's how baked in the cake it is. So we have this like cannibalism bullshit going on. And then when somebody finally tells you, because Dr. Claude Anderson has been saying this stuff, he's been saying for years, that they tell you business is the one thing you folks have not tried. Everybody wants to basically defend what everybody's already doing and what everybody knows is not working. So when you hear these people, like seriously, I would love to get any of y'all that, and you know what? This ain't gonna be where nobody's beating you up. You just gotta talk to me. I'll talk to 5 of y'all at the same time. It's me versus 5 of y'all. And or 4 of y'all, whatever. They defend Tone. I want to hear y'all. Because I'm telling you, I've got more intellectual capacity than all of y'all. I can deal with all of y'all at the same time. Because I've known Tone probably longer than y'all have. I know what he says. He says he's no different he's like a liberal Anthony Brian Logan. He really is. The shit may sound good, but at the end of the day, when you understand where he's pulling this shit from, you understand that shit's full of shit. At the end of the day, business is quite frankly your only option. It's really not a choice. You all like to think you all have an option. That, we can go with transformative government. You can't get access to transformative government unless you actually pay to play. Now, what if you couldn't access economics? Then we'd have to be talking about some other shit. Look at anywhere in the world where people don't have access to economics in enough way. What do? They use alternative means to get political action. And I'm not even going to mention that because nobody's going to flag this video. But you all know what that is. Use your imagination of what that is. Luckily, we do have access to money. And we have an incredible amount that we quite frankly are fucking up. When you all talk about this shit, when you all say, 97% is owned by whites. Okay, so what does that mean? Does that mean that you can't do anything unless that number changes? Because because your votes clearly don't matter, because if they did, we wouldn't be where we are. Your black politicians do not work for you. We would not have seen what Kamala Harris did if your votes really mattered. Also, Asians don't have the numbers, yet Asians can make things move, and not just Chinese or Japanese, even Vietnamese. I mean, at what point are we gonna stop doing the same shit we've been doing? When I ask a black person, do you patronize black businesses? I don't give a fuck as to what your excuses are. I didn't say, do you give 100% of your money to black businesses? I asked, do you even patronize any? I don't care about the excuses. I don't care about the distance. All that bullshit is not true for every situation. That's just some shit you tell yourself in order to justify not doing what you do. I call that economic cooning. And quite frankly, economic cooning is more detrimental than just talking shit. It really is. Because your power is based on your law of aggregation. The politics of something is the division of resources. This is why, but there is no resources to divide if you're not aggregating your resources through business. And business is not about everybody owning the business. People always like to come up with this shit. Everybody can have a bachelor's degree in something, but everybody can't create a business for some reason. But that's not the point. The point is, what you all should be focused on doing is, even if I give you, which I don't, the argument that everybody can't create a business, everybody can patronize a business. So all of these idiosyncrasies come out when you ask black people about this. Well, and it's really AKA the white ice is colder bullshit. And this is something that basic that everybody can do. But they don't do it. And then they wonder why the dude that created Shea Moisture, why he apologized as fast as he did, no bullshit, or why people do what they do. It's because of economics. It all comes back to economics. And it's not just about every black person having a business. What it's really about is people being able to create industry, to create jobs. This is where people like BGS comes in mind, because he can give you a deeper understanding as to that. Versus you got people talk about, well, automation's going to create jobs. Just go create as many jobs as it gets rid of. Which anybody saying that is retarded. I'm just going to say that right now. You can look at all throughout history and never seen that to be true. That has never been true. Now, is it true that certain industries can create jobs? Sure. But that's not necessarily automation. Like the internet is not automation. Social media is not automation. So, yeah. Anyway. Let me go through some of y'all comments. Usually I wait late to do that. Well, feelings and morals is just an excuse for feelings. Yeah, economically pro-black means that I'm going to judge you based on, are you bringing resources? Are you when I say an asset, I don't mean to random niggas. I don't mean to like random niggas that don't benefit nobody nowhere. That's not what I'm talking about. When I say if somebody economically pro-black, I mean, are you actually, number one, getting your own shit together, and does that have value to the quote-unquote black community, no matter what segment of it that you deal with? Are you in position to somebody I could work with? Are you somebody I can patronize, or you can patronize me? That type of stuff. Do you believe in those ideals? And that's why people need to say it. As far as people that represent that, Jason Black, Tariq to a certain extent, Boyce Watkins, but Dr. Claude Anderson, John Henry Clark. These are people that understood this. Martin Luther King understood this right before he died. That's why they killed him. This is the issue. This is where the power really works. This is what it is. All that shit about government, look, I'm not anti-government. I'm all for government helping to amplify the economic piece. The problem is, y'all want the government to kind of help y'all, and it's not about the government. You gotta look at who's behind the government. All y'all talking about, you need transformative government. The question is, who the fuck are you voting for that's even speaking of transformative government? Because no Democrats have talked to you about transformative government. Nobody in the Democratic Party, black or otherwise, has actually shown you where they're actually going to do that. They have done it. Nobody's done that. You can't point at me at one motherfucker, black, white, or otherwise, in that goddamn Congress or shit that's local in your area that's actually demonstrated that they do that. So even if you all are on the transformative government piece, which I'm not necessarily against, I'm just telling you, you're gonna have to buy your politicians to get to that point. Guess what? Y'all are not voting for those people, because you all have to actually bring those people to office. You all think you're voting. These people are, when you ask for transformative government, which is quite frankly what reparations was, guess what? They're laughing in your face. But then people like Tone will tell you to vote for those same folks. The Democratic Party has had a policy of benign neglect, which is literally a policy, a hidden policy that is basically standard operating procedures in the party that says to not give these niggas shit. Yet, Tone has told you, Tone knows that, yet you never hear him say that. You have never heard Tone talk about benign neglect. Yet, Tone is telling you to vote for these same motherfuckers that have covertly been doing that for 3 decades now. But y'all talk about the facts and the fucking data. Y'all are stupid. And y'all deserve to be poor. And I'm talking about anybody that would believe that shit. So I'm gonna keep it real. Um, um, there are certain people that are put on this world to get fucked over. I'm gonna say, and y'all, and the ones that are easily stupid, y'all deserve to get fucked over. Y'all deserve to get played. Y'all deserve to get lied to. Y'all deserve to get everything and anything taken from you. And certain people can say, well, that's kind of how white supremacists think. But you know what? When it comes to black folks, when it comes to us, even taking white people off the table, you know, yes, to a certain extent, that's true. Because at the end of the day, stupidity has to be punished. It really does. Because it will fuck up the goddamn gene pool. And you have too many folks that are way too comfortable being stupid. Way too many black people. Being emotional, especially if you're a male, needs to be punished. It really should be. Like, real fucking talk on that. Stoic, like, you say racism exists, but it can't stop a motivated black person from achieving. Here's the thing with that. Racism is a system, meaning it affects black people as a group. So the goal of racism is not to stop a motivated black person to achieving. The goal of racism is to raise that bar so high that you have to be like in the top 5% or 20% or 5% in order to achieve. Whereby a white person only has to be in like they can be in the fucking bottom 30 and still achieve. That's the difference. That's what a lot of people miss when they have these conversations about racism. Racism is not designed to stop an individual. It's designed to make you have to be a superhero to do what another person can just come out the gate to be. For instance, Chris Rock stated in one of his comedy series a long time ago, that he has to be like one of the best comedians in the country, best in order to live in the same neighborhood that a white dentist can live in, because he's a dentist. That's what racism does, and that's what a lot of y'all hyper individual folks don't get. It's not designed to stop the individual. It's designed to stop the group. The problem, though, is the individual's power can be limited if your group is limited. There's certain things as an individual you will never be able to do until black people gain enough power. Now, it may not be things you want to do, so that's fine. Take Bill Cosby, for example. Bill Cosby had the money to buy ABC. He couldn't do it. Why? Because he didn't have enough group power. It's certain. Why do you don't see more owners of these teams, even though there's a couple of black people that's got the money to do it? It's not because of the money. It's power. And black people don't understand that. They really don't. And this is why I say like 60% of black folks ain't gonna make it. And I say that to be nice. Really, it's probably 70, 75. No, all blacks are not the same class. You're right about that, Stoic. You're saying we've been priced out again, man. Explain what you're talking about, Richard. By saying that's not true. He's saying we've been priced out. No, we haven't been priced out. That's a lie. That's not true. That's not as true as he tries to make it. And by the way, the same motherfuckers that priced you out, even if I even agree that is true, the same motherfuckers that priced you out are supposed to be the same motherfuckers that's supposed to save you. See, nobody can ever answer that. It's like a tone acolyte. Nobody can never ask. The same people that fucked you over are the same people that's supposed to fix it. How do you make that make sense? Where's your data making personal attacks? Nigga, where's your data? You're just repeating bullshit. The only thing these motherfuckers are going to ask me is, where's my data? Where's my data? I've listened to Tone. Tone does not give data. Tone just tells you he has the data. Tone is not BGS Igmore, where he actually shows you the data and shows you the charts. So y'all niggas need to stop. talking about where's the fucking data, as if Tone has shown y'all data. He has not shown y'all data. And by the way, I don't need data. Go read Dr. Claude Anderson's books. That's where my data is. End of. That's where the data is. Dr. Claude Anderson's books. Y'all keep talking about where's your data, as if I give you data, which by the way, I do have it. If I give you data, you're not going to believe that. Where's your data? Doesn't like, where's your data? Why don't you, I got a question. Why don't you quote me some data, Richard? Since you seem to know the data, quote me some data and source it. Do that. If he's giving you all, don't quote me some tweet facts, quote me some data and actually source where you got it from, other than Tone. Because as far as I'm concerned, he just tells y'all shit and y'all believe it. Because I've listened to Tone long enough to know that. Y'all are not talking to somebody that does not know who Tone is. I've listened to Tone longer than y'all have. Well, so Richard, again, Richard, you say I can't pay my way out. Guess what? What are you talking about? Because the only thing that Tone has told you is to vote. That's it. So tell me how voting is supposed to get you out of this situation. I don't understand that. Exactly, stakes is high. Tone, this is how you know Tone lies, because he talks about income and wealth like like he acts like income is like a faucet, wealth is like you having a stopper. He deliberately misdirects the conversation when it comes to wealth. He does that on purpose because he knows who the fuck he's talking to. You got to remember, Tone's a lawyer, and lawyers know how to lie. And y'all be falling for that shit. Like y'all are believe. And what's crazy to me is y'all are believing him over like everybody, because y'all can only point to Tone. Y'all can only point to Tone and Yvette saying that shit. Y'all can't point to nobody else. It's just they know how to put that shit together better than a lot of people. And y'all are believing that over people like Dr. Like, are you serious? Tone is broke. Tone has college debt. Like, seriously. But y'all believe in him. And like I said, I know why y'all are believing him. Y'all are believing him because he's telling you essentially you don't have to do shit but what you've already been doing. And that's attractive to motherfuckers don't, at the end of the day, want to really deal with the situation. That's the truth. And y'all will keep on talking about where's this data? Where's the data? Where's the data? As if I give you facts, like facts, you all are gonna all of a sudden take that to Tone. No, you're not. You're gonna be like, oh, well, he's got data, but I'm still gonna believe what the fuck I want to believe. Richard says that we're worth $1,700 white money. No, see, this is a lie, Richard. Let me tell you why. Because what they're doing when they come up with that number is they put all black people together and they average it out and they talk about worth. Also, what you don't understand is that number comes from negative, which is debt. So let me give you an example. This is how stupid you are. Let me give you an example. I don't have college debt. The debt that I have is really about $6,000 total. I have more net worth than debt. We'll say that. Now, juxtapose this against a black female that may have $80,000 or $70,000 in debt, because black women have more college debt than anybody as far as individually. And because I'm black and she's black, that's all lumped into the same thing. So when you actually break what people say, what that means is you should never do that, because black people are 40 million people. That's like me saying, well, Nigerians only have X amount of debt. Nigerians are worth this, but not understanding it. You got Nigerians in the UK, you got Nigerians in the United States. So if you were to segment Nigerians in the United States, that's not going to be reflective of Nigerians in like actual Nigeria. You have 40 million black people. So for you, or 20 million black adults, 22, or like 18 million. So to segment them, that's bullshit. Same thing with like black immigrants, which is 10% of the population. You would need to segment them out. So when you actually do data and you're being honest about it, see, there's a lot of things under that you're not paying attention to. So yeah, when you create that headline, yes, that headline could technically be true, but the reality is you have black people in different classes. So that's not the same scenario. That's not reflective of the same thing. So it's a difference between looking at numbers and actually understanding what that numbers tell you about a situation. That's the difference. Because based on that number, we're only worth 1,700. By that definition, there should be no black homeowners because they're only worth 1,700. So there should be literally nobody black homeowners, and there literally should be nobody making $100,000 a year or 80 or 70. But we know that's not true. We know that's not true. Also, when you talk about what net worth is, that has nothing to do with income. The problem, what that says is that black people, number one, don't patronize each other when it comes to black businesses. And number two, what that means is black people don't put their money away and invest in shit. Or that there's a critical mass of black people that don't do that. Also, you got black people in heavy, heavy debt because of college debt. And they're not getting jobs that are replacing that debt because they got their degrees and stupid shit. That's the actually understanding the numbers. See, Tone's entire audience is based on people that don't know how to actually comprehend information. They just get data and they're told what it means. That's fucking stupid. Shout out to Erica. Erica's literally like if Tone's the Sith, Erica's like the Jedi. Like literally. You listen to Tone, you're gonna be fucking broke. You listen to Erica, eventually if you actually listen, you'll fall in your way and at least seeing some opportunities you may not have seen before how to make some money. Y'all going to 2020 listen to Tone, you motherfuckers are gonna be poor. And I'm gonna tell you, I've told people that know me in real life. I've stopped fucking with people that listen to Tone in real life. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, I find out you listen to Tone, I stop returning your phone calls because I don't need people like that around me. I don't need people to think like that around me at all. Actually, you know what? I'm going to see that Uncut Gems video movie today. I'm going to see that with Adam Sandler too, by the way. All right, so let's see what y'all motherfuckers got. Yeah, BA, they said that. And it's people I respect say that shit. I'm like, really, man? Well, Rich, you just listening. You just listening. It's dumber. Me talking to you listening. Because everybody else knows what the fuck I'm talking about. You keep saying lead me to your data. Go to www.blackdemographics.com. I just gave you a website. So if you're too lazy to go and actually go to that site, I don't know what to tell you. I gave you books, I gave you a website. So I'm not about to drop links for your dumb ass. You're listening to me. Stakes and Ties says wealth and equity is simply defined as excess after expenses. Well, not really. I get what you're saying. That's more like what you net, but I get what you're saying. Richard is just saying the same dumb shit. We can't copy that. Those times don't exist anymore. You notice how everything, Richard, and I'm beating you up for a reason. Everything you keep saying, you still haven't answered my original question, which is, how is what Tone tells you supposed to fix the situation? It's easy for you. It's easy for you to say what something else doesn't work. But you have yet to explain to me how going to the same people that created the wealth disparity you're talking about, how all of a sudden you voting for it and asking them is supposed to change shit. Even after you've seen all these Democratic politicians basically say, so Elizabeth Warren said reparations for what? Then said we need to give Indians reparations, even though Indians already have sovereign land. Bernie Sanders, said, you know, he got Killer Mike, and he's saying, so he's Jewish, and he's all for giving Jewish people get reparations all the time. What do you think? They have a country that they would not have if it wasn't for the United States of America. They have nukes that they would not have if it wasn't for Jewish people did not develop nukes. They were given nukes. You have all the money that they get as far, I'm talking about shit they just get from the United States. I'm not even talking about stuff that they invested in, like them being in Hollywood. I'm just talking about what they get from the United States. Just straight up from the government to Israel, which every Jewish person has access to, especially the white ones. That's unquestioned, right? Whether they're secular or more orthodox or in between. Remember, you got Bernie Sanders running, you got Michael Bloomberg running. Debbie Wasserman Schultz was the head of the DNC, but before she chose her womanhood over her Jewish, group. And I'm not saying it's like the Jews, but what I'm telling you is they get shit all the time. So this idea that people don't get stuff specific to them, that's the first lie y'all need to stop accepting. Everybody gets stuff specific to them. That's not true. That everybody gets things that affect everybody else. That's not true at all. That's never been true. Exactly, Erica. Erica says Asians, Jewish, Hispanics folks know business is the only way out. And I'm going to tell you, Erica, the reality is the problem is the black community is too big. If we cut it down to only focus on 25% of black folks, yeah, we'll get on the same page when it comes to that real quick. Erica, I'm serious. They do deserve to be poor because they're choosing it by their stupidity. We live in the information age. You can't say it's like the 90s where you got to go to the library. We live in all you got to do is ask Google or ask Siri. You got people, like, this is why I promote Erica's channel all the time. You got people that are putting the information out for free. Glendon, for free. Stuff that you would have never knew. If you want to learn how to build your credit, Erica obviously has paid coaching and consulting, but she has stuff on. All you got to do is go to her channel, type in credit. That's all you got to do. And it will have a list of library of videos. You can just give your kid, type credit in, look at these videos, that's it. So not only is the information age, you motherfuckers don't have to read anymore. You don't have to read. It's YouTube. You can just look, videos. You can download the audio and listen to it while you're going to work. For free. The downloaders for YouTube, you can get some for free. So it's beyond this, I don't know, I don't have access to the information. Bullshit, no more. You can't say that. Pooling money is what the white guys buying apartments. Erica, yes, pooling money is what the white guys buying apartments do right now. Yes. Everybody, see, this is how you know people are full of shit. And I know Erica doesn't go deeper into this, but Erica, call me a liar if I'm lying. Everybody doesn't go to a bank. They'll say, well, the white boys can go to the banks. Yeah, they can, but they don't always go to banks. Well, white folks do. Hell, even in real estate, they don't always go to the bank. They go to financiers. Well, black people, we don't have a lot of that. We got more people than you would think. Do we got people that can just straight up, just pay for some stuff? Not as much as other groups, but what you do have is people that you can put together in packages in groups. You want to know where they are when it comes to black men? Your tradesmen. They got disposable money. Unless they own the crack pipe or the alcohol, they got disposable money. Or they can get money based on their trades. You want to know where they are? Since people want to ask me about data, all you got to do, go to any real estate seminar thing where they talk about flipping houses and stuff, and you'll find a whole bunch of black folks that's got money either from retirement or got money that they're like tradesmen or something. You do that, you'll find out it's mostly black people going to those things. Ignorance is bliss. The problem is when it bites you in the ass, it's horrific. We are playing a game the wrong way, Archer. Richard, you notice how Richard refuses to answer my question? He just says tone talk is data. Tone talk is data. He hasn't produced not one piece of data Tone has told him, number one. And number two, he has not answered my question as far as how with Tone Talks' data are you supposed to go vote? Because his data just tells you you need to vote for the Democratic Party and ask for transformative government. At the end of the day, the long and short of it is, all he can say is, I'm just emotional. But he can't actually answer. You have not answered any question I have actually asked you at all. You haven't even attempted it, which tells me everything you need to know. Also, if you say I'm emotional, let me say this straight up. If you listen to somebody that you don't like or that you think is emotional or that you think is not as informed or dumber than somebody else you've already listened to or is not giving you another angle, let me tell you something, sir. You are fucking retarded. You are fucking stupid because you are wasting your time listening to me when you clearly have somebody apparently that has better information, better context than what I'm talking about. Yet you choose to listen to somebody that you believe is telling you something that's not true. That tells me one thing. That tells me a couple of things. Number one, it tells me you're stupid. Number two, it tells me you don't have a lot of time. You have a lot of time on your hands. Number three, it tells me that you're very emotionally wooed. You keep talking about data, yet you're addicted to the negative feelings that I'm giving you by telling you something you don't want to hear, which is why you still listen, which is why not only are you listening, you're actually chatting. And a lot of people do this on social media where they get addicted, like when a dumb bitch says some stupid shit. Like it was on Facebook, where on my Facebook, and this is why I be, I'm following certain people on Facebook. This chick said, I'm tired of these men asking for a DNA test. If it's your child, if I say it's your child, it's your child. Or whatever. Or a chick that said, if you hold the door open, I know you want to these men want to hold the door open because they want to look at this ass. And I'm like, I live in the South. I hold the door open because that's what you do here and that's courteous. But a narcissistic bitch wouldn't think that because that's who she is. Now I could have commented on those posts. I didn't. I just kept scrolling because it's designed to elicit an argument. I don't do these videos to elicit an emotional response. You can tell by how I title my stuff. I don't do it to try to break out or make them viral. I do them just put my thoughts out there. Whoever wants to listen can listen. Whoever doesn't, doesn't. Richard says, how you take over a neighborhood with white money from where? So money is not white, money is green. So what are you talking about? Are you talking about the problem that we deal with the American capitalist system? Because if that's the problem, then I don't even know why you're even in this conversation. Because you're so far left, you don't even know what up is down. See, again, you're not answering questions, you're just asking them. And you're asking dumbass questions. You're not even asking good questions. You're not even asking good questions. First of all, it's not hard to take over a neighborhood. The problem is you need to take over the neighborhood where the real estate values are not there. Black people don't value nothing until other people start to move in. That's the issue. That I can go deep into that. I'm not going to go deep in that. My thing is if you're asking that question, then you're lost cause. I'm going to say it like that. But there are answers to those questions. Okay, so what does that have to do with anything I said, Richard? The weed industry. Every business doesn't have to be the weed industry. And by the way, what about black people that have money to just start that to create jobs for other black folks? Like when people create trucking companies. There's thing and see, you're not thinking that way. You're basically proving to me the type of people that Tone is attracted to Tone. Road Dogg says money without power is pointless. I don't agree with that. money without a strategy or money without a motivation to build power might be pointless. But I wouldn't agree with that. I wouldn't agree with that. Yeah, Dr. Sandy Darity, shout out to Tariq Nasheed. Dr. Sandy Darity is actually running away from his own comments. Dr. Sandy Darity has just been on Twitter just like either today or yesterday, and I got the screenshots where he's basically dissing himself away from that baby bond shit and all that bullshit. He don't even believe the bullshit that he's saying. Now that people are actually starting to look and ask him some real questions, academics and others, he doesn't even believe that. So why don't you go get some updated information off the same dude? And by the way, that shit is too. Tone is just getting data from everybody else. He's biting and then basically telling y'all, well, this doctor said this. He's a snake oil salesman, and y'all are eating it up. But I just looked at recent comments from doctors. He's running away from his own report. Now that everybody's calling him out on that the stuff he's talking about is really like everybody help, not black people help, he's running away from his own report. So again, you're not answering questions. All you're doing is just name dropping and just asking questions, which tells me you don't have answers, which is actually a very good commentary on who the fuck you listening to. You have no answers. You don't. All you're doing is basically you listen to that shit because that shit emotionally feels good because it allows you to justify why you're in a loser ass situation. Somebody like you would get on Glenn and Cameron shit and blow a fucking gasket because Glenn and Cameron tell you straight to your face you ain't shit and block you. So Richard says vote down ballot. I mean, Richard's a perfect example of a dude of an avatar of a Tone Talks subscriber. These niggas are emotionally based. Dr. Claude Anderson's broke. He owed a bank. That's not true. Because if he owed the bank, he wouldn't have money to spend to actually sue the government for reparations. You're a fucking idiot. Okay. Yep. That dude. I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. Hey, whoever's in here that's got a wrench, block Richard. Richard's an idiot. Richard's an idiot. Richard's an idiot. He's still commenting. He can't stop commenting. He's emotionally addicted. He just can't stop. He just can't stop. Can't stop. And he's just saying the same nigga babble. This is what Jason Black talks about when he talks nigga babble. I'll be back in a second. Notice how all these people in here. Notice how you got these 3 or 4 people in here that they just can't stop. They just can't stop. Oh, this is a failure. This didn't work. Most people don't even know who. Like, I would say less than 10%, less than like 5% of black people even know who Dr. Clark Anderson is. So to say that something has failed. Yeah, I'm here. I'll be back. Give me a second. All right, I'm back. Appreciate it. Appreciate that little gap. But anyway, yeah, no, I blocked them people because I blocked those motherfuckers because it's not even about. It's not even about. I'm not gonna sit here and say the same shit over and over and over again because detractors want attention. And they're not even saying it. They're just saying this person's a failure. This person is this. This person is that. I've gone into great detail over quite a few videos, basically explaining the issues I have with Tone. I even had a dude that told me, well, weren't you and Cerulean caping for Tone 2 years ago? Like, you got a whole bunch of emotional minded, black people that, emotional minded folks that they're just stuff. Oh, well, business doesn't work. It's tried and failed. Business has never been tried in the black community outside of Black Wall Street. But since the integration era, black people have never put a priority on business. You cannot say black people, hell, I can make an argument that black people have never really voted like they need to. Like, we're just there and we expect somebody to save you. Like, you can't go actually take power. And my thing is, why are you even in this conversation? If you think it's nothing that can be done, why are you around people that's trying to do something about it? Just live your life and die in peace, I guess. But why are you even in the conversation? Because you're not contributing to it. Because low key, you think nothing can be done. So you got people in here saying they're just babbling. Oh, well, you're just being emotional. Okay, if I'm being so emotional, then it should be easy to address everything I'm saying. But what happens is you're just asking to say that it's like you emotionally disagree with what I'm saying. Okay, you can emotionally disagree with what I'm talking about. But if you have no logic for it, then shut the fuck up. Where's your data is not a logical comeback because you haven't presented data in order for me to counter present. You're just saying, where's my data? As if I in this chat and give you data, that's gonna all of a sudden make what I'm saying true. I can make up some shit. Oh, Dr. Sandy Garrity, like I said, Dr. Garrity, because here's the thing, Boyce Watkins, here's what kills me. So you want to throw a name out, Boyce Watkins is actually, say what you want to about Boyce, he's a financial professor. So we're gonna say, or financial, he has a PhD in economics. So by definition, he can override a lot of motherfuckers just based on that. If we're gonna just use titles that mean things, Dr. Claude Anderson, and he has a doctorate in education. But he's actually in business more than any other people. Also, this idea that he's broke, that's a lie. And anybody that says that is a liar. He has businesses that are running fine. Anybody that says that his little Africa failed, that's a lie. It was sabotaged by Detroit. Kwame Kilpatrick and them actually sabotaged it. The same motherfuckers y'all voting for that's supposed to give y'all transformative government whenever somebody actually does something that can help and needs the government's help, they cock blocked them, they sabotaged it. So the same government y'all are asking to help y'all economically is the same government that's actually sabotaging. Like, you all are not saying anything. All you all are doing is basically saying don't do business and vote Democrat. That's the only thing I'm hearing out of you motherfuckers. And you all are not addressing that. You all are just saying why this doesn't work. But y'all are not really saying why what y'all are doing is gonna work. Which means a lot of you all are acting like agents. DeMarcus says, if the government were to approve one, how would responsible individualism help wealth? Okay, what does that even mean, man? Responsible individual. Like, dude, that sounds like you have no fucking understanding as to what wealth is. What are you talking about? First of all, individually, black people need to start fucking buying black. That's number one. Like, you all are saying, y'all asking these questions, think these are profound questions. That's actually a stupid fucking question. That's actually a really dumb question. How will responsible individualism help create black wealth? Well, let's do this. How do you create black wealth then? You answer that question for me right now. Because you act like you know what doesn't work, so tell me what does work. Tell me what does work. If you know what does, because ain't none of you motherfuckers said anything about what does work. You all have just said vote, which black people already voted. So I'm just gonna ask you, why isn't it working now? Like, that's the problem. You all have these arguments that are like damn near, it's almost like we're arguing religion at this point. That's not true, DeMarcus Mack. That's not true at all. That's a lie. You wouldn't have to live 3 families deep. That's not true. And that statement right there tells me you really don't know what the fuck you're talking about when it comes to money. You have no fucking idea when it comes to money or how to use it or how to do it. The fact that you made that statement. And I'm going to give you a perfect example to show you how fucking stupid that is. Most Indians, what they do, I'm talking about Indians as far as people from East India, they will, number one, not fuck up their credit. That will go a long way. Black people, number one, black people are way too consumerism. Consumerism is a very big reason why black people don't have wealth. It's not that black people don't get income anywhere. Some people, a lot of black people don't, but we're not talking about them. A lot of black people are hyper consumers. That's the issue. So for Indians, for an example, Indians will own a house and they will rent out the house as far as the other Indians. I'm talking about the rooms. They do that here where the cost of living is not that bad. They'll rent out the house to other Indians. Like, for example, people that's working in Research Triangle Park. So for example, let's say they're paying $1,200-$1,300 for a damn apartment or for a house, right? They'll rent out the other 2 rooms because they're not married. They're just making their money. They just got their degrees. And the Indians living there are now living for like $400, $500 a month, all expenses paid. And then that other Indian is getting about 400 to 500 times 2, which is 1,000. You do that over the course of 10 years. Not only have equities gone up in your house, you've also gotten, what, like $96,000? But see, what do black people do? Black people try to get their own apartment. They try to do all this bullshit. They want to fuck off for 10 years in their 20s. Like, come on. There's like a lot of practical shit black people do. Black people, a lot of black women, they get fucking tax credits. They trick it off. Consumerism. That's the short answer to a lot of shit. And none of that consumerism is actually going to black businesses. All that's going into is fucking everybody but your ass. So the shit is not as hard as y'all make it out to be. Y'all just try to create these unbridgeable like gaps in order to justify where you are. And this is why, like, and I told Jason Black, I said, y'all underestimate, like, there's about like 60% of black people, y'all just gonna have to let go. Because they're just incapable of understanding this. They refuse to understand it. They just don't want to. And as far as I'm concerned, y'all have every right to believe what y'all want to believe. The reality is y'all just need to get the fuck away from me. Y'all need to get the fuck away from me and go on, live that poverty life. Y'all need to go do that. And then we need to create 2 black communities. One for y'all and one for the way that I think. Real talk. And go look up, like I said, I'll put it up in the community tab, but Darity is running away from his own shit. So y'all go hold him up. He's about to get played because he's running away from his own shit. And y'all try to say, well, doctor this, doctor that. Again, Boyce Watkins is a doctor. So being a doctor don't mean shit. Boyce Watkins is a doctor in economics. So titles, no. You're not going to use titles in order to try to say somebody knows more than somebody else. Like, seriously, y'all are proving to me how like a lot of the stupidity that people are talking about. And this is the problem. There's way too much ignorance. And some of y'all, like, folks need to be let go of in 2020. If y'all have these mindsets, y'all should not be there is no argument. Fuck the argument. Because I'm not arguing with you all because I don't give a fuck if you believe what I'm saying or not. Because there's more than enough black people that believe in what I'm saying for what I'm saying to make happen. So if y'all want to believe what the fuck y'all want to believe, then y'all just go over there and do what the fuck y'all do. And then it's going to be what it's going to be. We will see. At 0, which tells you a lot. I've known Dr. Claude Anderson for years. And by the way, for y'all that's listening, Dr. Claude Anderson has a YouTube channel. If y'all want to know about what Dr. Claude Anderson, this is the thing. You want to know who Dr. Claude Anderson is and y'all too lazy to buy his books? Go to his YouTube channel. Hell, Just go to Boyce Watkins' channel and basically type in Dr. Claude Anderson and all his videos will come up. But if y'all don't like Boyce, go to his YouTube channel. I'll put it in the community tab. I've been putting it in the community tab. He's about at 3,000 subscribers because he just put it up a couple months ago. But he talks about his shit. He has books that he's written. And he talks about the way, like everything that Tone talks about, technically, this is the problem. What I'm asking you for is not an either or situation. Everything that Tone talks about, Dr. Claude Anderson has written books about before Tone even knew it was an issue. The difference is Dr. Claude is telling you the way out is basically the reason as a group. He's not saying that all black people need to create businesses. He's saying as a group that black people are most impoverished because we have the least amount of businesses. You can look at every other racial group and see the one, like the Asians have the most businesses per their number, which is why they technically have the most wealth as individuals. Like if you average it out, it's very obvious. And this is true before China. So let's not use China as an excuse. Yeah, I am. It is what it is, DeMarcus, but I meant what I said. I mean, dude, you have no fucking understanding of what money is. You really don't. You like on economics, you really don't. And Lucas, that's really the point. Like, if you want to know why black people have the least amount of poverty, at the end of the day, the issue is how do we the biggest fucking spenders, but we got the least amount of money, but we ain't got no money. And when Tone says we ain't got wealth, he's a liar, because what Tone is really saying is he's not really telling you we don't have wealth because we take our income and give it to stupid shit. He's not saying that because he's giving you a narrative. You might be right. It might be more than like 85% ain't gonna make it. Black people practice group economics the least. But y'all talking about what a government need to cut me a check. Nigga, let me tell you, you know what? Single mothers have been getting 8,000, 6,000, 7,000 year over year on top of child support, on top of their parents helping them raise their kids for years, and they still the brokest. Black women have been getting government help to overtake black men for decades now, and they still make less money than black men. Why? Even though they're given jobs. That should tell you everything you need to know about government doing. And second of all, the government is never going to just cut you a check. That's never going to happen. Not like that. Exactly. He is defeatist in nature. Thank you, free will. They are. But niggas don't understand that. On top of child support, sometimes for multiple baby. Dude, my mom, I had a stepdad. But my mom had 3 kids by 3 different with 3 different dudes. I'm gonna put my shit out there. Look, my mom, they didn't get a house until I made that shit happen. But real fucking talk, my mom was getting like $9,000. I added it up. I said, so 9,000 times 18. So 9 times 12 is 108. Plus what? 9 times 6 is 36, 42, 48, 54. So she basically got 108 plus 54,000, 8 plus 54 is 62. So 162,000 in tax breaks, not to mention child support, not to mention Section 8, not to mention when you look at street money that people be getting, like doing hair and shit. This is a lot of black women in that situation. Yet look how, so let's cut the bullshit about being given money. And well, it's just we don't have money to move around. That's loser talk. Yes, they were getting 6, 7, 8. Like and Obama gave black women the ability to have 3 kids because you can get them as dependents. And my mom got that much because she was working. She was working at like a legitimate job. So again, when people keep talking about facts and data, I'm telling you what I know. Oh, I'm not guessing my way through this. I'm not guessing my way through this. No, you're not guessing. You're just lying. You're just lying. You're not guessing, you're just lying. And quite frankly, these people believe it because they don't know what else to believe. Here's the thing, even though YouTube is an incredible resource, if you got more information off of social media than what you have off of actually reading books, then that tells me everything I need to know about you. Like, motherfuckers is gonna make a judgment call on Dr. Clark Anderson, probably never seen his books. Oh, Powernomics doesn't work. Powernomics, you don't know, because if can you ever show me what Powernomics would even implement it? Show me a community where it was implemented and failed. I can show you what black people have voted and ain't got what the fuck they want. But again, you argue with emotional Negroes. And they're just gonna believe what they're gonna believe. Anyway, I'm gonna end this. I'll probably do a stream later on about this. And I'm serious. I want people to come on here. I want folks to come on here that want to give me the business. And I want to hear what about the data, because we're gonna talk about the numbers. Like, what about the data? What about the data? What about the data? Because if y'all say, what about the data? Then you motherfuckers better go get Tone's data and basically have it ready. And we'll talk about his data. How about that? Because if y'all gonna ask me what about the data and you don't even know where the data is that points out to your arguments, you're fucking stupid. Yeah, and but a lot of black people get money back from taxes. And what do they do with it every year? They consume it. Consumerism. And that's one of the basic things that Dr. Clark Anderson said. He said black people are the biggest consumers, and at least this is why when people talk about businesses, because you get on the producer side, all of the tax breaks and tax benefits is actually on the producer side, not on the consumer side. But most of y'all don't know that because y'all hear business and y'all get scared. So y'all find any and every reason to not fuck with business. Like y'all and like folks are not slick. Like y'all think that nobody knows the real motivations behind why y'all do what y'all do, and y'all think that ain't nobody really peeping that. So y'all put out these names or these figures or whatever y'all need to do to kind of hide from certain facts. Oh, well, Dr. Garrity and da 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 da. Y'all don't want me putting up a video like playing that dude, like breaking all the shit he said down and like really showing you why that shit was not gonna work. First of all, baby bonds does not help you. That's number one. That's a way to kind of kick the can down the road so another generation has to deal with it. But see, y'all actually are attracted to that shit. And I'm serious. Like in 2020, if y'all niggas think that way, y'all just need to get the fuck on away from me. Because there is no debate. You do you, I do me. That's the answer to that. You do you, I do me. And anybody that's stupid enough to listen to y'all is going to be broke and poor. And anybody listen to me, well, you'll have a chance. Because I don't make no guarantees. But anybody listen to y'all, I guarantee your ass is going to be broke listening to Tone. And Tone is, nothing he said is anything new. All this shit he believed years ago. Like, he just didn't come out and go after Dr. Clark Anderson because it would have looked bad. Because he would have got the same kind of heat that he's about to get now. So what he did was he attacked Boyce Watkins by proxy because a lot of people were getting tired of Boyce Watkins. It's kind of like 50 Cent saying that Ja Rule ain't shit versus 50 Cent saying Tupac ain't shit. 50 Cent wouldn't have came out like he did if he would have said that. It's not so much, it's more fear than laziness, but it is a combination of laziness. But at the end of the day, these folks are essentially saying that buying black doesn't work. Somebody actually came on here and said, buying black, you'll be overpowered when it comes to Walmart. Well, who said you have to buy black? Who said that I said about creating small businesses selling parts and shit that you can buy from Walmart? First of all, you can buy black by buying things online. Shit is on Shopify now, Amazon. It's a lot of different stuff. Number one. Number two, buying black could just be getting a black attorney. It's a lot of stuff that has to do with buying black. Getting your tires and stuff taken care of. Do they hire black? But see, again, these niggas are not thinking about that. Like seriously, Walmart don't sell hair, but you don't see people really buying from black salons. Let's cut the bullshit. Lucas Hill says black people do have power, definitely economically, but they've been indoctrinated on American consumers. Yes, that's like one of the biggest things right there. That's one of the biggest things. Niggas looking like they got more money than what they got because at the end of the day, they want the pussy. That's why when dudes talk about tricking, let me tell you something. If you sitting here looking like $1 million and you're not worth it, you're a trick. I could give less than a damn about how you want to frame it. Unless you're doing that for the specific purpose of carrying a certain image that can kind of socially attract the people you need to be around as far as money. If you only doing that for bitches, or that's like the main reason you're doing it, you're a trick, period. You're a trick by proxy. And a lot of dudes, even a lot of time, if you trick off your time constantly dealing with people, dude, it's all the same thing. That's why when dudes get mad about the direct money transfer, I'm like, that's silly. Because y'all do, because if you're sitting there spending more money than what you got, that's true clockwork. And that's even dumber. Stunting on other niggas is stupid. I don't care. I don't care what you niggas think. You know? Because a lot of dudes do that at the expense of quality. Quality of life matters. And you notice most of these mofos, Powernomics is a must read. Like I would say read Powernomics, then read Rich Dad Poor Dad. And it's not just Powernomics. I mean, like Dr. Claude Anderson basically wrote the history as far as what's going on with you. He said, it's sad, man. It really is, man. But like I said, ain't no arguing with people like that. And I don't have a problem debating ideas to build on things. But my thing is, if you just gonna have this emotional, I don't like what you saying, so I'm gonna throw mud at it, that needs to be killed. Because that's a waste. That's a time wasting tactic. I'm just going on and on. So with that being said, I'm gonna end this video. Shout out to y'all that came here. I'm serious. We about to shut that shit down. But thank you for this is Edward signing off. Peace.